Good evening, folks. Red County Blue Nation, town of Westcliffe and Silver Cliff, county of Custer, great state of Colorado, of course, the greatest country in the planet Earth, the United States of Americans. Stephen Rorick, James McMahon, Mike Boring. Jimmy, how are you this evening, buddy?
We're doing good. Just got here. So did a little raining, got the underground done, got the cattle taken care of. Everything's good. So yeah.
Making a mud pie out there. It ain't enough to do anything.
Ain't enough to do anything just to make it stick on your foot.
Oh, it's a mess. Every vehicle, everything that's sitting outside windows or whatever, it's just covered in dirt.
Yeah. So how you doing? What's going on? I know you got a little project going on.
All the normal kinks, I'm doing all right. Yeah, projects. Trying to fix and repair stuff.
You get the backhoe thing going though.
Yeah, we're tuning this backhoe up for this gentleman. Took the extend a hose cylinder out of it and got that squared away and got that back in there, and that's like threading it's a pretty serious jigsaw puzzle, man.
It is.
To get it back in there and then get the index right on the cylinder, the rod for the pin. And there's no way to get in there.
I know. It's like by braille. It's all about feel.
I fooled around and got it.
That's good. Right on. Cool beans. But yeah. Yepers. No, it's busy. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. A little windy. Boy, I mean, for all y'all that don't understand or don't realize, we're shaping up to really have a dry year. I mean, talking with my neighbor, Robert Miller, that I do quite a bit of collaborating with, he mentioned to me that he thought the snowpack was about 50, and then I talked to the fertilizer guy today too, old Tanner Camper. He told me what he was looking at said 42, so 42% of what the average is. So if that's, I mean, I probably won't have any irrigating water at this point. At 42%, I mean, we're going to the lake. And it ain't going to be the hayfield, or not my hayfield. I mean,
you mean like Lake Powell?
At least Pueblo Reservoir. Bust the boat out.
Yeah.
Ain't been able to use it for a couple years. Been too busy trying to irrigate and put up hay and all that stuff. But I don't think it's the case this year. So anybody that, of course, if you've got a little garden and you got your well or whatever, I mean, that's a little bit different. But it's shaping up to be a dry one.
Yeah, when you're looking at the watershed coming off the mountains, yeah, you want 150% snowpack, not 42.
Yeah.
To get through July and June and get that cover out there and bury that moisture real good, you got to be.
Yeah, because it's already greening up. It's greening up real nice, which is really about 2 weeks early, I think.
It is. It seems a little early.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that I've seen that before. It'll get real green and then it just dries out and then turns brown before irrigating water ever gets there.
Before you can get ahead of it, yeah.
But I don't even think we'll have irrigating water to come in. So I mean, we're in Mother Nature's, and I know this well, right? I mean, that's.
Well, one of the promising things, and I'm just hoping for the best. I had to cancel the concrete, but because it looks like we are going to get a little snow this weekend.
Well, I hope. I mean, it said 88% on my phone, whatever. I think that's weather.com, 88%, but 1 to 3 inches.
So Mike said above 10 inches.
Well, I've heard all kind of stuff. But
yeah, so God only, I'll tell you Tuesday.
Yeah, tell you a week from now.
Yeah, but we need to, I mean, hopefully God to shed his grace on us and give us pack them mountains full. And
at this point,
oh no, we're always at the mercy of Mother Nature.
I
mean, if you're farming and ranching, the Mother Nature.
It won't be the first time it droughts me completely out, and so
no.
Like I would rather be completely drouthed out than I would be just
half in, half out.
Yeah, because then you still got to do all the work, but you don't make no money.
But you don't make the money.
Yeah, you're trying to chase the water and there ain't none, and still got to work.
Oh no, you're threading the needle.
Yeah, I mean, and there ain't nothing to sew.
No,
You threaded the needle and then what? Worked real hard and
in the dark.
and don't make no money.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'd just as soon not have to even mess with it.
yeah. No need in trying to feed a dead horse.
Yeah, and then of course, that'll be what it'll be. But
It is what it is. Man.
I've been saying it for a month, man. I'm like,
Oh no, you have. I keep saying no, please, we need the water.
I can see it coming. I can feel it coming.
Yeah,
The wind's been. It's one of them where when the wind blows every day, the wind has blown every day for the last 2 months. It just is continuous. Whenever we get a chance for a storm, the wind blows and it blows it around us or over us, or it's just, I'm used to it. Or, I shouldn't say I'm used to it, but I have quite a bit of experience.
well, you got a good feeling with it, and every year that goes by, you get that, you acquire that knowledge and experience, and then you get that feel. You have that.
I literally got 40 years doing that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's why doing that underground thing, plumbing today, they're like, you didn't do that. Go out and look. It's easy. I mean, it might have taken you 3 weeks. It took me 3 hours. Because that's what I do.
Experience is good.
Knowledge and experience is priceless, and that's kind of what we're finding out in this country is a lot of that's leaving the planet.
Well,
As people get older and they're dying off,
it is.
a lot of that heritage in the salt, the thing that preserves our culture and our heritage is fading. And the school system, we depend too much on the school system. We think that, oh yeah, that's what we do.
Well, and I mean,
And that's
the thing is I mean, the school system is really great if it would do what we needed it to do. I mean, education is the key to everything. It's just they're not educating us on our better behalf. They're educating us to be dumb, and that's
dumbing us down. And that's what I'm getting at. That's just a pitiful. But once you recognize that problem, we need to be able to address it, and to just sit there and back burner it. This is a 4-alarm fire. I mean, like the sludge-o-matic thing that was going on.
Sludge-o-matic. Sludge-o-matic.
That was such a. That should have been a non-starter.
Are you gonna try to dump sludge on me?
You dropped the sludge on me.
Well, the thing about it, man. I mean, we've already kind of talked about this, but nobody understands what it is. I mean, when 24% of the sludge is sold through Lowe's and Home Depot as home gardening fertilizer, I mean, man, you're talking about your kids are right in that. So when you put that in your flower bed and stir it up and they're out there messing around and digging around, because that, I mean, at least the kids used to, they'd sure dig in there and then put their hands in their mouth. And when you're talking about 1 part per billion, that thing I seen the other day said that any limit is cancerous.
Yeah.
It's just like the dioxins with the PVC, with the polyvinyl chloride, man. I mean, this stuff is so
poisonous.
But it's poisonous. I mean, what it does to the cell, an individual, just one
It's
molecule.
freaking radioactive.
One molecule of what it does to your DNA and your ribonucleic or whatever, the reproduction of the cell splitting, all that stuff, man. It's
Yeah. Well, there's enough feedback on it. We just got to be better stewards of what creation has given us. This try to cheat stuff, go faster and make it better, and la da 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 da. We're going to find out we're going to have to go backwards to go forward, and that's just, we're just not geared that way.
well, and I'm still a firm believer that efficiency is the key, man. Efficiency.
At what cost?
Well, it's all about intention. If you have
Yeah,
the right
there you
intention,
go.
then
When
you
you
ain't
say
costing
that-
nothing.
When you say that,
That's
it's,
where-
it's
that's what I-
honorable.
I
When
wanna
you say
make that-
efficiency is honorable because you have a big picture.
Well, and it is. That's what efficiency is always
But
honorable if you
efficiency-
have the right
But
intention.
efficiency in today's world is about only the profit for the shareholders. at whatever expense. It doesn't matter the residual causation.
Well,
And how much how much you destroy other people
That's-
just as long as you survive. That's, to me, is an asinine that's a dog eat dog mentality.
That's not unsustainable, is what it is.
It's absolutely. When you say it, Stevie, I know you well enough. When you say it, I understand. You're saying it in broad terms where it's a full circle endeavor.
Yeah, we're trying to better mankind here.
Absolutely.
Stone Age is not bettering mankind.
But when the diamond guy comes up here, diamond cowboy comes up here from Denali, and he's going, "Oh, I can bullshit these people. They only got about an 80 IQ up there, man."
Kudos to Jordan Hedberg, because he asked him again for the for the letter, and them people ain't gonna respond back to us. No, they're too busy slinging shit for Metro Denver, literally.
They're making the thing is we dodged a bullet.
Well, we did dodge a bullet, but what we did was we grabbed the gun before they could fire it at us. We literally took the gun
Disarmed
out of their
them.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, check it out, folks. I mean, I wrote a pretty good letter to both of the papers. I think Jordan's comes out tomorrow, and then Georgia's comes out on Friday. But, I mean, well, here, let me read it real quick, just so.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
I mean, I intended on writing it last week, and I just got busy, and then I kind of wished I would have because, you know.
Well, I was sure glad that you took the time out of your busy schedule to pencil down some words and your thoughts, and because you were pretty intimate with what was going on, and you got enough situational awareness to combat these guys. And not that other people, I think Matt Miles done a really good job too on the questioning thing there. Got old Dave to spin his head off a little bit. Thanks, Matt, for deep diving on that deal. And they should have let you go on a little bit more. They should have been upright enough where anything that you said shouldn't have offended them. It should have complimented them. And the thing is, when people start getting offended, it's typically because they haven't done what the right thing was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they're trying to push it through, and I can understand why. I mean, they have a project that they're trying to complete, and I get that, right? And I mean, without persistence and perseverance, projects don't get completed. But that don't mean shortcut, right? If you didn't have time to do it the first time,
You damn sure ain't got time enough to do it the second time.
Yeah, so. Okay, so this is my letter. The title is "The Feeling of a Used Rag."
And that's a good title. I mean, that's kind of how we felt.
The good people of Custer County, I feel compelled to express my feelings about lying, extortion, hoodwinking, and all the general concepts of deception. First of all, one of the things that makes me extremely irritated is the lack of consequences for the aforementioned. In today's world, is the only repercussion of deception. In today's world, is the only repercussion of deception burning, quote, burning in hell. That doesn't suit me very well with the subject at hand, where deception is at an epic level and situations are in dire need of honesty, courage, and transparency.
Absolutely.
I have the feeling that transparency means that you can blow right through me like hot wind through an open window.
Mm-hmm.
I'm transparent, like I'm a see-through object with absolutely no regard or respect of any kind, repulsive from one human being to another, but more so from an entity that supposedly has my best interests in mind. Point in hand, the Round Mountain situation. Don't get me wrong, I'm pleased with the situation at the moment, but on the other hand, I'm extremely irritated with what is my perception of the situation leading up to the current status, and here is my opinion of what's bothering me about it. Point number one, in the March 14th edition of the Sentinel, Dave Snyder and the Round Mountain crew told the Sentinel they had 4 tests that confirmed that they had tested the sludge for everything, including forever chemicals. Now, they go on to say that we tested for everything, the state, the feds, blah, 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 and all the forever chemicals. They said we had everything. Our tests were squared away. When actually they have no test. They have not one single test, folks, that's legitimate here.
And Stephen, I wanted to just key in on that. How much further does your letter go?
Oh, it goes a long way, so go ahead.
So let me key in on that. I went to Liberty Rocks last night at the pizza place that Ann Barthrop and whoever she's with there on that little group of thing. But the Bill Candon and Bob Sinderhoff and Dave Snyder, they were out campaigning for the fundraising. That the little idea that Bob Sinderhoff come up is we all in it together. We got to start paying the money.
I already pay my bill every month. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I pay my bill, so I
yeah,
don't.
and here again, they have a little bit of practical reasoning through common logic, but at the end of the day, it's a piss poor way to run a business. But what it really came down to within that meeting last night was they were still excuse-itis. So many excuses on how it wasn't handled properly, and they just kept, oh yeah, but we got to have the money to fix it because we're all in it together. But at the end of the day,
So it's going to take $100,000 to haul it out of here, and you look how many brand new houses are right behind the swimming pool. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 right there that just popped up in the last 3 months or something.
so where I was going
So there's 150,000 right there just from them houses on the sewer and water to hook up. So I mean,
So Stephen, that's kind of where I was going with this. I didn't finish really what I was doing there, but I'm doing and I asked Dave. I said, so are your records open to the CORA, the Colorado Open Records Act? And he said, yeah, the first hour is free. And I'm thinking to myself, boy, that's funny. I wonder how fast the secretary's going to be punching out the information I want. So
Well,
that's kind of a fun.
that's the
wait a
same
minute.
thing at the courthouse.
Here again, that's
I mean, that once it gets to a certain amount of time, I mean, then we have to pay. I mean, that's just.
yeah. So what I'm doing, and hopefully we'll be able to allocate next week, maybe 15 minutes of the facts that I'm getting from them. I want to see their statements. I want to see their communication between Denali and what's going on. And then also, is Denali, and they're not really involved in the electrolysis thing in the new implementation. That Denali
No.
just hauls it away, right?
Yeah, they're in the sludge.
So it's that
business.
other company that's in
Powell.
in Powell Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to look at the communication and what's going on there. I want to really do some deep diving in the investigation of where's the money at? Where did the money go? And why is this? I'm a why guy. I'm like a 2-year-old. Why? And so he did say that last night, and it was public, and he said, yeah, you're everything we got's wide open. So I want to do a deep dive on that. And now that the weather is probably going to be a little bit thrashed, it might give me a little lateral movement to get out of the construction realm just for a minute to kind of walk over there and say, what you guys got? Let me look at what's going on here. Anyway, I just wanted it kind of fit where you were at there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you have. I don't have any interest in digging through their books. I mean, where I'm at is that they lied to us all the way down the line. And so let me get to this where the Denali presentation. Okay, the only test available. Let's see. They said they had 4 tests. They confirmed that the test had the sludge for everything, including the forever chemicals, when in fact they had none. The only test available to the public, and the test that was given to the BOCC, was conveniently described by Denali Water Solutions as improperly taken. It was completely out of compliance for the forever chemicals, which, okay, maybe it wasn't properly taken, but the shit was off the charts, right? And so even if it wasn't taken, even if it wasn't in there, if there was none to show up, it doesn't matter how you take the test, right? I mean, it's not going to just automatically, that stuff comes out of thin blue air,
Now,
right?
you're doing way too much thinking there on your own there. We will not have any of that.
Well, I already have experience with all that shit, so I know how it works. I mean, you can't bullshit me because I've already made money and lived and died with that shit. I lost a lot of frickin' money because of tests, and people said it was clean and it wasn't. You lied through your frickin' teeth.
Yeah.
The Denali presentation at Lang Hall told me that their test showed 3 parts per billion. When I asked first where was the test, they said the results hadn't come back yet. So being we just all fell off the turnip truck, I asked them, how did they know that the test is 3 parts per billion then? Huh.
Damn, you thinking too hard,
Ah,
boy.
dang, boy.
Hot boy,
Shit. You don't have a right to say anything. Just shut up and listen.
you can't be thinking like that.
Ultimately, Luke Bond told me it was in his email, and we're back to we were all born last night. Anyone in today's world can drum up an email on their phone in on a moment's notice. Quite disturbing that Mr. Bond didn't make that happen. My observation was there was no test. Very convenient for the mega corporation to pull the wool over the little county of Custer. Ultimately, this comes back to Round Mountain pulling the wool over the county of Custer. To try to say, folks, that they had 4 tests and they had none, and they still have. Jordan's been after them to try to get a legitimate test of any kind, and there is none. They ain't no test. I mean, we went off the rails last week and told them they were full of shit, and that's because they are. Right? That's all there is to it. You lied. You lied.
Well, they tried to con us.
There's 4 tests, and they're all good.
I mean, that's just a con. If there wasn't a significant amount of.
So I'm getting to all this stuff. Point number 2, Round Mountain stated in the same article that the removal of the sludge anywhere but at the Johnson Ranch would cost $1 to $2 million. We're in dire compliance issues here if we can't spread the sludge because we can't afford the bill. That's where I feel completely like a used rag here, folks. Isn't this the definition of extortion? If you don't comply to our underhanded doings, the whole world will come tumbling down. Not to mention, this is dealing with people's lives and well-being, not just money. Very unethical and deceptive as can be.
So that was number 2?
That was number 2.
So here again, that one amplifies the drama that was portrayed. I talked to Billy Biden. Remember our little conversation where I said, hey, these are forever chemicals. There's millions of acres of lands that have been contaminated unknowingly under the umbrella of the EPA. And nobody willingly would ever have done that. And then Bill spouts off, all you got to do is listen to Dave at Round Mountain, and he will clear it all up for you, Jimmy. It's all going to be okay. It's all great. Because we can't shut the 2 towns down. And then the Nimrod went into this whole deal of the Candas have been here for generations, and they'll be here a long, long, long after some of the ranches that I helped tend. He mentioned their last name. And I
Miles.
I was absolutely, I was calm and collective and doing the best I could to try to express myself to my servant, to my public servant, Billy Bob Biden Kanda. And the guy completely torqued out of the universe, completely lost it. And he got into his self and self-serving, and it was almost like he was lashing out to the people that were a little bit lower on the hill than he was. So, anyways, that's that. You know me, I always look at the why behind somebody. I'm always looking at what's going on with them. Well, and that was a heartbreaker for me when
I don't understand why. I mean, I still can't understand why he would act like that. I mean, I don't think that he's getting paid on this deal, so it really doesn't make any sense for him to act that way. I mean, unless they were just completely trying to cover it up. And so here, let me get to
the... go to number 3.
So number 3 is at the BOCC, the special BOCC meeting with Round Mountain stated that their contract with Denali was $240,000. So it was never $300,000. That's the third lie. You've been telling us the whole time it's $300,000 to haul the shit. Well, it was ever $240,000. Right? It's just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie.
And Stephen, where I'm at in the law with that is that's malfeasance and it's coercion and it's collusion and it's extortion and it's all we've got records of it. We've got records of these people manipulating and contouring things.
Hell, according to everybody, it's the greatest thing. Hell, we're going to raise all the money for them.
So now what we got is the big old sweeping broom in the dustpan.
So let me get through this here. Okay, so they've been telling us the cost was $300,000 the whole time, but the contract's $240,000. They stated that Denali had given them a quote of approximately $100,000 to take the sludge out of the county. 240 plus 100 is 340,000. Elementary math are used to be anyhow. Quite a difference from the 1 to 2 million we got so conveniently told the sky was falling. So they have misled us at every turn here, folks, and now everyone is so happy the county is choking up the extra 40,000 to make this deal happen. I'm personally so irritated that I lost my cool on April 9th edition of Red County Blue Nation, and I gave them the tongue lashing of epic proportions. I do apologize to my audience for raising my voice, but anyone that has any understanding of the situation can see why this was the case. Back to my statement about no consequences for deception. By the time they burn in hell for lying, the rest of us in our happy valley will be dead and dying for neglect of an organization that supposedly has our best interests in mind all over what seems to be a $100,000 bill. Disgusting behavior. The only way that this isn't the case in my perception is that Denali got caught with their pants down at Lang Hall and felt like they owed the community, so they dropped their bill from $2 million down to $100,000 or $340,000. Highly unlikely, but hey, who knows? No matter what, we got lied to from the start, folks, and I feel like I owe it to the people of this community to point these facts out while Round Mountain is begging for money when they should have been upfront with us from the start. Common behavior in the times we exist in.
Well, you get right to the nut cutting in the heart of the matter, Stephen, in that article. And
I mean, they lied to us so many times, and now everybody's like, well, we got to raise money for them. I'm just like, man, I'm not. I'm going to pay my bill, and
let's give the criminals some money.
That's it.
Let's go ahead and give the criminals some money.
Hell, they lied to us. It's all fine and dandy. It's
to me,
Hi-Yo Silver. That's what George wrote last week. It's the Lone Ranger. We're here to save the day. Like, they freaking lied to us on every corner of the turn. All the way around the block, back to where we started, they lied to us. They lied to us. They lied to us.
Yeah, and what that comes down
to. And I'm just like, why would they say that it's going to be $2 million when they knew that it was only $100,000?
Drama.
I mean, God,
blow it out of proportion. What are they going to helicopter it out of here? You know what I mean? What the hell? Where were you going? What the hell was going on there now? So, anyways, at the end of the day, really, I don't know if they just want this.
Well, and
rage of the we the people came to the stage and said, "Wait a minute, folks, you're going to simmer this down, and you're going to simmer it down because it should have been a non-starter." The unintended consequences that could have taken place with that toxic sludge, which is not even fertilizer, that was another lie. Where's the soil samples? So I got all these requests that I'm going to do. Where are the soil samples of the land that you were applying it? What did it require? How much could you put on it? Then what was the fertilizer's composition coming out of the sludge tank? What was that?
All that works out perfect. It don't need it don't need no nitrogen, and there was no nitrogen in it.
So when Steve Rourke says it works out perfect, that just means it shoves it up their ass because they didn't do their due diligence. That's what that means. It works out perfect.
It don't need no nitrogen, and there was no nitrogen there, so they could just put the toxic shit out there.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole fertilizer thing, I mean, that was...
So somebody unsuspecting on what's really going on here couldn't actually analyze all of the math and the degree of the lying misconceptions of what was going on. And they're still parading themselves around town.
Yep.
They're still parading themselves around town.
Nobody else is saying anything bad about them but right here, folks. Everybody else is trying to raise money for the sorry bastards.
Oh, poor us. You know what? I was involved in that thing in '98 in Silvercliff and Westcliffe. I had an investor that said, yeah, let's go up there and build some houses, and that's what I did. And then I went to those meetings, and Jerry Pearl and Jerry Livengood were there. They know I was there because I stood up and I made a stance. I said, we need to address this stuff. The boys' mom was there. She was the secretary for Silvercliff, the Huttons. Sue Hutton was up in there. So, just to give you locals, just so you know I'm not bullshitting you, I know exactly what was going on. And it was derelict then, and the problem is whatever you don't tend to, if you don't tend to it in the right time, it gets out of proportion. Well, now you got a big problem.
Just like the tractor that I'm working on.
Perfect example.
But if you don't understand
the degree,
if you don't understand about what you're actually doing or what it takes, what's really going on in reality, if you don't understand that, you're at a real disadvantage. You're just gonna.
Well, that's your lack of knowledge.
Well, and
you just think it's a backhoe. Yeehaw, let's go. Man, it started up. Let's run it.
That's the same way the sewage plant. It's just a sewage lagoon.
So your client, I do a lot of work for, and he's a blessed family. They're very, very godly people. He bought that thing, and I was asking. I said, Jimmy, I bought it like that. And he said, I've had to.
I don't doubt that one bit. That and I mean that's what. Call the specialist, right?
So Dave walked into this thing. Dave.
Yeah, he did.
Dave bought Round Mountain when he walked in it.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, it's not Dave's
doing. Are you going to try? Wait a minute. Are you going to Band-Aid it, or are you going to fix it?
Well,
that's where the push comes to shove.
Well, and
that's where ethics comes in.
It all boils down to money. Do you have the money to fix it? They didn't have the money to put the $14 million plant in, because the thing about it. So this is where it's really. This is the bad part about it, folks. So if we would have had the $14 million to put that money in, to put the treatment plant in, you'd still be dumping the PFAS chemicals back in Grape Creek. And so, I mean, I do know that they don't like water, right? They don't like water. They're trying to bond to something else. That's the whole thing. They repel water. That's their nature. But it's such a low concentration. 4 parts per trillion is what the new EPA limit is. There's no way in hell that the $14 million treatment plant it didn't address them at all.
No.
And the EC plant, I mean, we've already discussed this. I'm not trying to say the sky is falling, but I won't believe it till I see it.
So just looking at it so Dave told me last night. I mean, he was explaining some stuff there at Liberty Rocks, at the pizza place there. Well, they've experimented with this thing, and man, they had like 600 gallons that they done with. So I asked him. I said, "Well, Dave, how many gallons of water you got to deal with a day, David?"
You don't even have a legitimate test for all of this stuff that you said you had. So why would we believe that you are testing the water that Does the EC machine work good for the sludge? Yeah, or to pull the heavy metals and the stuff that they need to do? Yeah, we already know that the outfit that does that in Oklahoma, that it works. That part's,
And does that stuff still qualify as fertilizer?
I mean, they're talking about the lagoon 12 years later, there's no sludge in it.
There's no.
There ain't none.
Right.
It burns it all up.
Right.
And what little bit comes out, that comes out the spout dry, and then they haul that to the landfill. So I mean, that's what already has been going on. That's what the track record is in. We're hot on the mic. You can't come in, bud.
Oh, well, freaking Sherry's got a pay, or she's gonna fucking be on the street.
Don't know what to tell you.
Come on, can we do this?
Slip around, Brian. Slip around over to my.
We're gonna walk around?
Yeah, well, and just use the bathroom at my house.
All right.
Sorry about that, folks.
We got a tight knit community here. And when you got to go, you got to go.
But
I mean, again, that was the big theme of last night at Liberty Rock. We all in it together. We're all in it together. Yeah, I guess we all are. Because when you have running indoor water and sewage, and you live the quality of life that we do, you need not to devalue all that. You need to think about it, because the pioneers that come up here, they were shitting in the outhouse. Hell, they had a shovel.
Well, they didn't make PFAS chemicals then.
And they didn't make PFAS chemicals then. So
That's
here
the whole
again,
thing.
let's think about how are we going to unwind from the contamination from the origination. So what is that, Stephen? Is that
Well, that's what I've already said that before, and I'll say it again. It's going to take a real highly technological science advancement to get rid of this stuff. And already what's in the ground, I mean, what are you going to do? Like go out through there and go down 3 foot, dig down 3 foot with these huge machines to like try to
get rid of your topsoil?
Well, and
Really?
try to like shoot it with waves or whatever to eliminate all this
See,
stuff.
now that could be a hell of an invention.
Well, that's what I'm telling. That's what I'm saying. It's possible, but not right now.
Well,
There's
Elon Musk
Hell,
going to
he's
Mars
too
and
worried, yeah,
whatnot.
he's too worried about going to Mars and putting a chip in your head. He's not worried about PFAS chemicals.
So I don't know where he's at in all of it, but I would like to bring it to the forefront of his.
That's why Paul has that group that he's working with that says that they can maybe get something done, and they have the best chance. I mean, when you can drive a car from LA to Vegas with no oil in it, you know a little bit about what you're doing at the molecular level. Just saying. That's why I'm interested.
You
in
bet.
Getting him on
So
here.
that kind of out of the box thinking, and then looking at, because this is countrywide, this is worldwide. We have a toxic comfort level that we're in you know, we all are invaded with it, and it's we're creatures of convenience. We've gotten away from glass, and we've gotten away from cast iron. We've gotten away from things that don't contaminate us. So now, one thing that irritates me, oh, it's in this, it's in that. Oh, it's over here and it's over there. It's open there and it's over there. Well, what we're concerned about is what landed over here. Is what's going in the septic. It's what's going into the big old septic systems.
No,
I understand it's in your car, it's in your toilet.
It's already a done deal. They're hauling it out of here. The important part is what are they going to do with the water that goes into Grape Creek? Because the problem here, folks, the problem exists that there is no leach field.
Well, now that's a whole nother ball game.
That's the only problem there is.
Yeah.
The rest of this is already done. Do we have to choke up money that people in the county had to choke up money? Yeah, they did.
Now, Stephen, here's my little pop quiz for that. So if the leach field is already, it's already done, right? Right? We're out of leach.
It's the geological layering of it.
The volcanic.
It doesn't leach. It's ash. It's
We're
clay.
full. It's already saturated. It's
Well,
full saturation.
It's not saturated. It just doesn't percolate.
So when it goes down and it doesn't keep going down and then percolation quits, that means it gets saturated.
I know, but that's not the way it works. So it goes down and then it just seals off. It doesn't go down no more and it doesn't saturate. It's a dam. It's like clay. It's bentonite. It's like plastic. Shit's just sealed off. It ain't going nowhere.
So is it evaporating?
No, it's underground in them infiltrators.
So the infiltrators are called infiltrators because they're supposed to evaporate.
I know, but it percolates. They can't evaporate when they're 3-4 foot underneath the ground.
Okay.
I mean, water goes down, not to the surface.
Okay.
I mean, I can go out here and dig you a hole with the backhoe and we can see that firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But what are they doing? They've gotten a permit from the Colorado Department of Health to leave they have an open leach field out here that they're just running it out right out on the ground. That's what they've been doing because their leach fields are no longer, they've went too, I mean, this
the
ash.
leach field is full? Is that what you're telling me?
No, it's not. That's not what I'm saying. You're missing my point here. It has to do with the material. The leach field won't leach because it's blocked. It's like you might as well have a tarp over it. Once it gets wet, it's like cement.
It's full.
It's not even full. It's sealed. The rest of it underneath can take all kinds of water, but it's sealed off.
It can't go down any further.
It can't go down.
So it only has so much of a sponge on the top of that clay.
Once it gets wet,
So what I'm saying
It's
is this is completely full because it hit the seal. So the top side of what they've got there that they were leaching out, how many thousands of gallons a day do they manage a day?
I mean, we talked about that. What was it, like 186,000 gallon?
186,000 gallons a day. And they've got quarter of an acre of saturation.
I mean, it's like
That thing's
that whole-
already...
that whole thing's like they got 10, 15 acres of infiltrators over there.
There
The problem is it has, if it was on the other side of Grape Creek, no problem. It could infiltrate till the cows come home because it's not volcanic ash. It's cobblestone and rock.
It's all
and
alluvial.
sand.
It's all alluvial. It'll take it all the way down to the core of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So where we're at here, folks, is this is not just a one-time urgency to haul stuff out. This is an ongoing, crippling
Do
problem.
you need to go see what's going on back there?
I probably do. Anyways, you keep her going. Let me see what's going on.
So anyhow, folks, yeah, I mean, what we're talking about here is the problem is what are they going to do with the PFAS chemicals if they can't get rid of it and they can't put it in the leach field? It's back to the state wants them to dump it in Grape Creek. So, I mean, that's the problem here. I mean, that's it's a big problem. I don't know. We got some kind of disturbances here. I don't know what's going on back there. Hopefully Jimmy's figuring it out. But anyhow, it's a pretty big problem, folks. I mean, it's I don't really know what to say or do. I mean, there's nothing we can say or do. All we can do is hope that this technology works. And if it doesn't, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. It's a pretty big problem. So, I don't know. But that kind of leads us to our topic of the afternoon or the evening is about low income housing. So we can't even handle what we got, but they want to try to build from, I heard 300 new units, which doesn't make any sense because there's only 730 some sewer taps as there is, 750 water taps or something. So they want to add on, they basically want a 50% more for low income housing for people that can't afford to pay. I mean, where's that? Like, how are you going to? And so I went through and I did some calculations here. Part of what the cost of trying to build according to Chat GPT, I mean, they're talking about basic builder grade homes is approximately $200 to $300 per square foot. Custom homes are $250 to $400, and luxury and complex builds are $500 per square foot. So, with that being said, if you have a $200 per square foot house building and it's a 1,500 square foot, I mean, I don't know if is that kind of about normal? Is 1,500 square foot, that's kind of a small little building, isn't it?
Oh, that's not bad. For what? What are we talking about?
Well, I'm just getting into the low income housing.
Oh no, 15's a good starter home.
So basic builder grade homes are approximately 200 to 300 per square foot. 1,500 square foot times 200 is 300 grand. Like, how is the 300 grand affordable?
So here again, I remember me coming on stage. I graduated in '80, and the Carter Power Hour. Oh, Jimmy Carter. Anyways, it was 18%, 26%. It was the same thing Biden's done. And these young people are in this atmosphere now. I come through that deal. And it was tough. And I talked to a couple of you young men today. Actually, they work right here in town doing very important work. And they're very beautiful, wholesome young men. And we talked about this in ACE today. They're like, well, man, this thing, the interest is high and the inflation is high, and we're kind of trapped in between this whole thing. And I was like, I know, because when I graduated, it was the same thing. And everybody go, oh, it's the same stuff. It's always the same. It's you just got to work harder, get 2 or 3 jobs, and eat your beans. And well, I understand all that. You can sacrifice. You could damn sure save some money by being thrifty, and still being healthy, and still doing okay, and still thriving. But what came out of the conversation was we need to look at this as kind of a battle of inflation is the elephant in the room. When inflation showed up, a lot of these young people, they're married, they're going to have a kid, both of them are working, and here again, that's killing the family. Mom should stay home.
Part of the problem that exists with all that too is that nobody has ever been taught finance. People are not taught finance in school. They are taught debt. And so most of everybody that's whining about the interest and all of this and all of that and then the inflation, which it's true, but they've never been taught how to be in a position where they don't know any other way.
So here again, it's heritage and it's hereditary. And if your family's not in the debt mind, if they're not in debt mind, but they're in profit and above it, and it's abundance. But if you have that social conditioning that is in most of us, where it's all about debt, go get a loan and you're always in bondage, there's not freedom and liberty of having abundance. That's what it comes down to. And it's tough to get a leg up when you're starting out on your own and you're trying to figure it out. I remember, thank God I was able I was able to do a few things to get up in the housing market. And it wasn't when I was 18, 20, 25. It was when I was 30. That's when I kind of figured out, holy moly, boy, you're going to have to do something monumental here, because if this thing comes back around, you're still going to be renting. You're still going to be in bondage.
That's what I'm saying. A 1,500 square foot house at $200 a square foot, 300 grand, they're never going to get it paid off. I mean, they'll work their whole life if nothing goes wrong to pay that house off.
So, Stephen, what I want to mention here, too, is mortgage. What does mortgage mean? And we were talking about debt. Mort, and I think we've talked about this. Mort is like death, like somebody that's, a mortician, mort, and then gauge. So mortgage is really a death grip. And in the Greek, that's kind of how that comes out in the English language. So, but we're not taught that we can have abundance, and that maybe we should start saving when we're 15. Maybe we should start saving and having this mentality of abundance, save and earn before you need it to get ahead of it.
That's definitely the case. That's what I say. We're taught from birth to spend. That's why all this stuff's going on with these tariffs. America is where the money's at. We're the ones that buy all of the consumer goods. And that's why, because we're taught from birth to buy.
Consume. Not to save and be thrifty, and not to sacrifice for a season that you might have unbondage after that season. And those are the biblical principles that I was raised with.
Like this season?
Yeah.
All I know is luckily my barn's still full of hay.
So at the end of the day, seed time and harvest and being patient, but earning, the word earning and the word profit and the other things I wanted to mention too about. But yeah, now that we're talking about that kind of housing, I was able to talk to them youngins today, and I know both of them. Well, I know the one particularly. Hardworking, salt of the earth, damn upright person. Don't want nothing given to him. You probably couldn't give him nothing. But they're damn sure served with a hell of a challenge. And it wouldn't hurt for a group of us to get together as... The government's not always the answer to everything. That's what really irritates me is... we give our taxes and then they're going to administrate it. And then by the time it actually gets administered, it's 10% actually hit the tread hit the pavement.
At the end of the day, what it boils down to is that sometimes you just can't afford it.
Well, that's what it damn sure comes down to, man.
That's what I'm talking about. So you can bitch and whine and moan, oh God, inflation, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you can't make more money to adjust, then what are you going to do? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. That impact's coming.
It's hitting it. It's here. It's
that
been
impact.
Here.
Yeah, but it's coming even harder now. It's already geared up enough now where it's impacting. You're going to see quality people that are doing pretty important jobs. And I don't say this lightly because I think anybody that when you start giving somebody something, you weaken them. I mean, we've got 4 or 5 generations of Negro people and white people that have been on the toll. You know what I'm saying? They've been given, here, this is a way of life. And they've ruined them. They've absolutely contaminated their soul with whatever that is. And I know what it is, but most people ain't going to agree with it.
The thing is what's a guy going to do about it? Nothing. I'm not going to do nothing about it. Don't care.
Right.
It's not my problem.
I
didn't do it to you, and I don't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Right? So because you can't afford a house is not my fault. You can't find some place to rent or can't afford it, that once again is not my fault. So why should I be liable? And that's where I'm going with. Are there some good, hardworking people here that probably could use a little bit of a break? I'm sure there probably is, but that's back again to where, I mean, I know a lot of the folks.
Your family ought to take care of you.
Well, I mean,
If you ain't got a strong family, hell, you ought to go on back down the hill and get on welfare and get up in there and
hell,
do
you
that.
might
Get
have to
on out
go
of
work
here.
a little harder.
Get you 2 or 3
I mean,
more jobs.
it doesn't have nothing to do with welfare. What I'm talking about, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about honest people that can't make it.
Yeah.
And that ain't nobody's fault but your own. It's not my fault that you don't make enough money to do what you want to do. And is there jobs here to support 300 new low-income housings? There's not. I was just looking. There's only 700, according to ChatGPT, there's only 700 jobs in Custer County by 169 employers. That's all that's here, folks. And you're trying to tell me you're going to put 300 low-income housing to put competition on the 700 jobs that exist? Like, how does any of that add up? And how are you, if the Trumpster took the money away, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. Low-income housing, well, we'll get grants and we'll do all this and do all that. But it's like, if all that dries up, you can't afford to do it because at the end of the day, somebody has to pay for it. It has to be paid for. You can't build these houses for nothing. Round Mountain wants $35,000 or $32,000
Right out of the gate.
just to hook up your water in the sewer.
You got a $25,000 lot that used to be $6,000, and the water and sewer tap was $3,000.
And so, I mean, it is what it is, and it's not my fault, and I really don't care because what am I doing? I'm taking care of I have to take care of to make my own life go. I still have to go make it happen and work as hard as I can to make my life happen. I can't worry about trying to get on somebody else's, try to get somebody's tit in somebody else's mouth. That's what it's amounting to. The money is not there, folks. It's not free. So I just can't understand. I mean, is there some people up here that would probably be good workers, but they can't afford it? Probably. But that ain't my problem. And what are you going to do about it? You can't help them. I mean, that's what you say. If you give it to them, they don't respect it.
No, and good people don't want a gift. You try to give a good person something, and I'm telling you right now, that's a tough deal.
Most of the people that I knew that ever lived in them low-income houses had plenty of money anyhow. They were working the system. Just saying. I know them personally. And I'm not going to name any names, but when you're making $5,000 a month and you're in the low-income housing across from the Dome, or you're making more than that, just because you had an in with someone, so it's like that. There's people over there that live in them low-income housings or whatever that have plenty of resources to be in a better position than there. And what are they doing? They're taking it away from the
ones that really might need a hand up.
Yeah, so
might need a couple years to save some money and get their feet underneath them. I didn't have anybody give me nothing. I had nothing to fall back on.
What it boils down to is that what you need to do is raise your skill set. And I'm not saying go to school. I'm just saying you need to become a more productive and efficient human being in this world where you can make more money. You're worth more money. That's the whole thing. So all this low-income housing, all over what? Because a couple people whined about because the restaurants don't have enough help? Look at what's going on here with the restaurants, folks. I mean,
Ace is looking for people too. They're skeleton crewed out. It's not just the restaurants.
And the thing is I mean, it's a two-edged sword. Our little buddy Haley, kudos to you, girl.
Oh yeah,
Shit, she goes and she's already had 4 promotions in a month, and they put her right to the top of the chain because she's qualified and she's
merit.
hungry.
Merit. But she gets paid on her merit.
She's driven. She wants to excel.
Yeah, and she understands that being, the biggest thing too, and a lot of people don't ever get this, is to be a good leader, you got to be a good follower. And that's what I think Kaylee excels at. She understands that being a good, being able to follow the leader. That's what makes her a good leader. And she excels at it. And a lot of folks don't ever want to deal with that.
She's like, why would I follow you anywhere? I ain't following your lame ass. I ain't following your lame ass. I ain't following you nowhere.
Right.
I can see where I'm going, and following you is not the path I'm going to take.
Right. So apparently you have no experience in that realm where you have to, when you come into a spot like she is, and there's already a chain of command, if you don't handle that just right to excel forward with humility and honor and dignity, you don't go forward. You go out. They take you out. She is skilled in human nature.
Yeah,
that child is very...
You're kind of somewhat right there, because I've been doing a grown man's work since I was 10 years old.
Absolutely.
I ain't following nobody.
No. And I understand
Ain't nobody to follow.
Absolutely.
Ain't nobody...
Ain't nothing. I ain't following nothing. I'm blazing the trail. So yeah, that's a whole other big deal.
Yeah, what you're talking about is totally correct. Otherwise, she wouldn't have had 4 promotions in a month.
She's very skilled.
They're like, damn, maybe we better just let the baker bake.
Absolutely.
This girl knows what she's doing. She's a hustler, and she's
smart.
Yeah, she's motivated and she's smart. She can take care of business.
And she's not selfish. She understands selflessness, and that the more you give and the more that little child is dialed in. And there's a few folks up here that are dialed in like that, and those are kudos. But yeah, and like you said, we're not going to solve everybody's problems.
I don't want to.
And the government ain't going to solve.
I don't even want to try to solve anybody's problems. I'm just telling y'all how I see it. Right?
Yeah.
We busted Denali without no tests. We stopped that. Solving people's problems, hell, I got all my own problems to solve, and there's nobody helping me. So why would I help anybody else? I mean, that's what this world is about. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, and then there's another one that says that if you take care of enough other people's problems, your problems go away. So depending on how you look at that,
I mean, that's only partially true.
It's partially true.
I watch it happen to you every day. You're
Absolutely.
out here solving everybody's problems, but they ain't helping you for shit.
But it all comes around. There's an invisible...
Maybe, but at what point, at what expense?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it waiting to come around. So next time I'm not going to help. My free cards are up, right? I've already given out all the freebies I have. From now on, if you want some help, you have to pay.
Yeah.
I'm not helping you for free.
Absolutely. I'd rather do nothing than help you.
I'm going to do nothing.
Damn right. I'll set it
and I know that's kind of a shitty attitude, right? That's most people's attitude, but that's never been my attitude. I've done so much stuff for free. I mean,
as long as I've known you, you've always been given and taken care of and absolutely sowing good stuff. But we do grow weary in well-doing sometimes.
Hell, I'm weary, boy.
And the thing is that's where we can't do. I mean, you can. You damn sure can. And that's why I'm just trying to encourage everybody I can, because it's a tough time. Tough times make tough people. And if you get through them, man, you become somebody that's got to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, we're never giving in. We're going to make it through.
We are, but man, it's a testy.
Yeah,
it's a testy little time, boy.
At what expense?
Yeah. So you can look at the expense, or you can also look at the character building. And I know it's going to be nonsense, because it doesn't make any sense.
My hippocampus is smoked, and I don't give a shit about my character.
Right.
My brain doesn't work properly anymore because of the stress. So you can call it character building, but I'm throwing the bullshit flag, man.
Well, no, it'd completely disseminate you.
I'm already getting close to wasted over this deal. Right? Too much stress, too much trying to make stuff happen that just like what we're talking about right now. Why, right? I mean, we're doing this because of the goodness of our heart. That's why we're trying to spread the word
We're
here.
giving. We're trying to do the best we can to protect our future.
My dad wanted me to bring this up this week. He said, there's no jobs here for these people for all this low-income housing. Don't they understand that? And what are you going to do? That's why I said there's only 700 jobs out of 4,500 people. You know what the median age is here?
64 or something.
58, I think, is what it
Oh,
said.
is it 58 now? So some young people moved in. Because it was.
They're basically, no, there ain't none.
Because it was, I think a year ago, it was 64.
There's only 50. I looked all this stuff
Because one of the
up
good
earlier.
things that are taking place, and I'm watching it firsthand myself, is people are coming up here that are.
So from 20
home.
to 44, there's only 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13%. 13% of the population is 20 to 45.
That's working group, right? That's the majority of the working group.
There's
And how many people there? How many are there?
there's whatever, the 4,500 or 5 or whatever.
How many's in that age group?
Well, I don't know, you'd have to calculate. It just says a percentage of the amount of population. Doesn't tell you how many. Have to break
What
that
was the
back down.
percentage?
From 20 to 44 is 13%.
13% of 4,000. 52 is not much.
It ain't much.
Holy moly! It's like yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. There is
520. No,
Well, if it was 10%, it'd be 400
Right.
out of 4,000, right? So I mean, what we're talking about here, folks, is what are these people going to do? You bring low income housing in here because a couple restaurants need and I mean, let's get to the nuts and bolts of this deal. And I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but most of the time, them are low skill jobs, and people are less than desirable that hold them jobs. And I'm not saying that that's the case across the board, but most of the time, people that are just migrant from restaurant to restaurant or low, minimum job to minimum job,
they're
right?
more of a vagabond.
They are.
Type
Yeah,
mentality.
they're
sometimes.
not really a high class citizen. And I'm not saying that.
derogatory. No, it's
just the
that-
truth.
But it's the lifestyle that they've chosen.
And it is. I mean, it's a free country. They can do whatever they want to do.
Absolutely.
But what I'm saying is what if you bring in 300 low income houses, what are you going to bring in here? Low income. You're going to bring in low intelligent people that do drugs, that beat each other to death, that do all this stuff, create violent crimes, do all this stuff. I mean, this is a retirement community, folks.
Well, we already seen that with the Mexican restaurant and the killing. You know what I'm saying? Over there at that apartment. That was the killing that took place over there. And that's kind of what you're talking about. That's a nail on the head. That's the unintended consequences of this kind of mentality. Is if you don't let the folks that can swim upstream and make it and they're strong, if you're trying to coddle the ones that couldn't make it upstream and have the tenacity and the intestinal fortitude, you end up weakening the society.
Well, that's it. A prime example is Haley. Look what she does, right? She's not going to go to low income housing. She's going to go out there and excel and get a better job and get a better life for herself. She don't need a handout. She's too smart. She's too capable, and she's too willing.
She's willing to move out of here and go down the hill, and if I got to do that and then come back up here when I can afford it,
Hell,
that's what I'm going to do.
When she was here, she had 2 or 3 jobs,
Yeah,
besides helping me here and there.
yeah,
And I mean, was happy to do it.
yeah.
And I'm kind of sad to see her go because it's like somebody you can really count on. When you know when she shows up that stuff's going to happen.
Shit's gonna happen.
So
And I look at a lot of the folks that graduate here, they got to go away. You know, they got to leave.
well, and then they do, and most of them want to. I know I did. I didn't want to be here. Westcliffe doesn't have much to offer when you're young. I mean, that's why. What did we usually do? I mean, you basically have two choices. You either go to church or you go out and party. That's like all there is, right? I mean, you can try to think that you're a sports person, but I mean, that's only going to go so long because you're either going to drift in with the church crowd or you're going to drift in with the party crowd. That's just the way it is, folks.
Oh, that's coast to coast.
And it is
North
so
to
like,
south.
what
Yeah.
do you? That's what they've been taught, right? There's no incentive really, or no incentive really.
Well, we got to be able to think ahead. Individuals got to be able to look at themselves, where they're at in life, what they want out of life, what quality of life do they want to establish, and then what's it going to take. But critical thinking and observation and thinking ahead, and we don't teach that in school anymore.
They don't
We
teach
teach
none of
whether
it.
you're a little confused. Maybe you're a boy today, maybe you're a girl. We're not sure. And then maybe your parents don't know the best for you. We're the teacher, and we know better for them. So we have a dereliction of duty where we've completely fell off the side of the road here. Freedom without moral conduct and being a little bit mature and understanding and individually responsible for yourself. Shit, that's a frickin' bottom of the list. Now it's like, no, the more dependent you can be on the government.
Yeah,
or,
I'm entitled.
I'm
You owe
entitled.
me.
Yeah, you owe me. And that's a mentality. And
That's the mentality.
That's why China wouldn't have to fire a shot. Russia wouldn't have to fire a shot. The kingdom's already been invaded through the hearts and minds of our children, through the educational system. So we have a cancer now. Now we have a huge vacuum of lack of salt. There's nothing there to preserve anybody.
Yeah, and of course we're not. We've already talked about this. Most of the people that are in our audience already know all this stuff, right? But it's back to solutions, and what we're talking about here is how can low-income housing be a solution? It's not, because who's going to pay for it? If there's no grants, nobody can pay for it. That's the whole
Well,
thing.
you can't get anybody to even help you now. You can't get somebody to go to work.
Well, you can.
You can, but is it worth it? No, it's not.
It depends on if you can find somebody like Haley.
So there's 1 in a million.
Well,
Probably.
still, it's what it is. So
Yeah.
does that mean that let's fold up shop and just cut it off at the freaking neck?
No.
Well, so then where are you at with it?
So where I'm at with it is those examples of unique individuals that have those skills that have been, and it's not so much a skill as it is a personality and attitude and belief system and outlook and how they're designed and what makes them tick.
Part of it is a transfer of knowledge, right? There's people out there that desire. There's some that don't, right? And you can't do anything about that. But there's people out there that have a desire but are highly uneducated. And
They
so-
have ambition, but they can't channel it. They got the horsepower, but they can't get it harnessed. And that's a big problem.
Well, and so that's what we're trying to do here is spread some of this knowledge. I've helped a lot of kids over the years, folks. I mean, not young kids, but I've helped more than 1 or 2 or 3 different ones get graduated and they wouldn't have graduated without me, right? They just wouldn't have.
Well, that's the installation of humanity back into humanity. Is to try to instill and give hope and encouragement to people and encourage them, whatever their aptitude might be, whatever part of
if nothing else, it's someone to look up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you anything because I don't care. Right? I don't care if you believe me or you think I'm right. That's not where I'm coming from. But if you ask me wholeheartedly, I will explain to you what I know about it.
So getting through school is an important thing.
Even if it is the Babylon system, but it's still a lot easier to get through in this life if you have a diploma. I mean, if nothing else, it's discipline, right? It's not giving up.
It's not giving up, and that's what I was going to say. It's the will to survive, and it's the will to take possession of your future and your consequences and your personal being, and that's where we failed here. It's like, no, it doesn't matter if I don't do something today, because the consequences are not going to come. Well, the consequences are here now. The money's running out. The madness is going to stop. The money's running out. The madness is going to stop. And the harsh reality of where we've been with all this cheap money and the Dr. Spock bullshit and being easy on people, that's going to come home to rest here. And we're going to have a problem.
Well, it's already here.
We're going to have...
I mean, that's why you got Bill Biden at the wheel.
Yeah. So we don't have situational awareness. We don't have any critical thinking. We don't have any drive or principle. I mean, there's some of you youngins out there, you know this is falling on deaf ears because you're saying, no, I know who I am, I know where I'm at, and I know where I'm going, and I'm not going to be defeated. You know, I take my hat off to you youngins. But there's a whole nother group of them out there on the other side that don't have that. They don't have that tenacity.
No, and I mean, like
They
I
don't
said,
have that culture.
I don't care. It's not my problem. I didn't cause it, and I'm not going to do anything about it. Right? It's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I have all my own problems that I can try to solve. Trying to teach someone that don't care about. I mean, that's what they call them F-bucks. Like, I don't give an F anymore. I don't care. I don't have time to care about you and your little...
Wah-wah.
Yeah. I don't have
So
it.
number one, the parents got to be there. We got to have a strong family. And
Yeah,
we
and I
don't have
mean,
that anymore.
Yeah, we already know the nucleus is broke.
So the nucleus is broke. So now you have that. And then you got the TV or you got social media. And you got influences that are absolutely... I mean, the Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, the school curriculums that have been installed, us unknowingly thinking that the school people are taking care of our children. That Common Core thing where it says the state's more important than your family. Excuse me.
Now, it's socialism at its finest.
I mean, and here again, when you take over a kingdom, a strong kingdom, you don't do it with bullets. You don't do that with bullets.
That's what Fabian socialism is.
You take it over with influencing the young children with some kind of perversion that
Even
goes
if it
against
takes
your culture.
200-300 years, they don't
2 or
care.
3, 500 years. Who they don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
they don't care.
So now that's another big situational awareness that we need to be allowed to explore and say, hey,
Well,
youngins.
My whole thing is I already know it, right? So I mean, it's like trying to do my best to kind of share a little knowledge, but I don't really give a shit if y'all figure it out or not. It's not my problem. It's not my problem if you know it or not.
It's kind of like the sludge, the trout pond. It ends up being your problem down the road. You either won't flush your toilet, the price of your building goes way down, the town folds up. You will understand that it does. You will care one day. And that's where I'm at. Because the consequences are so damning.
The thing
As
about
a country and a
the
nation.
thing about it though is, are you gonna let it corrupt are you gonna let it corrupt what you're doing now on a perhaps this is what will happen.
Right.
That's where I'm at with it. It's like, that's back to the F-bucks, right? I'm not going to spend all my money trying to worry about something that may or may not happen. And could it happen? Yeah. I mean, that's why we've been
Well, it's a
talking
hell of a
about
gamble.
it. That's why we've been talking about it for weeks.
Yeah. It's a hell of a gamble. But here to me, if it's
But
only...
there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
If the EC machine doesn't work and they don't have a leach field, what are they going to do?
Well, that's pretty crippling.
Man, that's what the only thing that makes any sense to me is pipe it under Grape Creek and put it out there where they can get it to leach.
Oh, drop it down in the aquifer.
Yeah, get it down
where it go down.
Get it on the west side of on the
Get it
west side
down
of
there
Grape
and
Creek.
get that aquifer all filled up with that. Chit-chat. That's the answer right there. I don't know. There got to be an answer somewhere because we can't shut down the pavement. We can't shut that all down. I mean, the school's involved, the pizza place, the car wash. I mean, the county building, all that's all involved in it. So we're in a trap here.
The thing is it's not like it's just not our problem. This is the whole United States.
It's the whole world.
So I mean, it's not like well, we can just shut the town down and move somewhere else and it'll be fine. It ain't going away. There's nowhere to go away to, right? Maybe you're going to fly with Elon to Mars. I don't know, but
I'm not going.
I mean, we'll have to try to deal with we got to play the hand we're dealt. That's the only chance we got. So,
Yeah, and I really do hope that there's more problem solvers out there.
there is tremendous people out there that
Yeah,
are
there really
extremely
is.
intelligent. They just need to get on the project. The need is the mother of all invention.
Yeah.
Once people really decide that they're not going to do the PFAS stuff anymore, then we can start to get out of it. They're still making it. So, I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, so the tail don't need to wag the dog. We need to stop the manufacturing of it. We need to quit creating it. And then we need to figure out what we've already got, how to properly manage it without harming everybody. But to say, oh, the creek's already contaminated, let's go ahead and put some more out there. My God, what kind of idiot thinks like that?
Well, yeah, and I mean, you can't even test you have no idea what you're talking about when you say that there's PFAS in the Grape Creek.
Yeah, I want to see the test.
There's probably is some in there.
But I'd like to see the test. I want to see back it up. You know what I'm saying? And where's the entry of it? Where's it starting? Where does it start consolidating?
All it takes is one contamination source for that. All it takes is one goddamn firefighting truck to dump a load of that foam and get in the creek, and there you got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all it takes.
That's how delicate it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it takes is one structure fire that ran off the foam, ran off into the creek. Then you're there.
Yep, done.
So I mean, that's
done.
That's how delicate it really is. But
All done.
anyhow, I don't know about you, but I've had enough.
Yeah, where are we at in time?
It's time.
Okay, yeah. Well, right on. We got to get a little bit more stuff out there and be able to communicate to people. And
It is what it is, folks. I mean, don't blame me. Blame Chat GPT if you don't like the numbers. But I mean, that's what it.
no,
told me.
those are real numbers. And
700 jobs is all that's here, but yet we want to put in 300 low-income housings. Like, we're
and we ain't got the trout pond fixed.
yeah.
I mean, it's madness to me.
So anyhow, that kind of is our little take for the evening. So till next week, folks. Have a great week. Don't let the wind blow you away. Pray for rain.
Yeah, pray for rain. We need some moisture.
See you
God
next
bless
week.
you guys. Thanks.